really very sorry. There was a bear to lead me on. Oh, of course, that's no doubt of it.
Why do you laugh?
Oh, wait, I didn't laugh. At least I didn't mean to, I assure you. But it's just when I think of him charging at the windmills, thinking he does the cleverest.
Back the portrait, sir.
Of course, I'm very sorry. Perhaps I'm quite wrong, you know. No doubt I am. Most likely he got wind of the cartridge business and knew it was a safe job.
That is to say, he was a pretender and a coward. You did not dare say that before.
It's no use. I just can't make you see it from the professional point of view.
So much the better for you.
How?
You are my enemy, and you are at my mercy. What would I do if I were a professional soldier?
True, dear lady. You're never wrong. I know how good you have been to me, and to my last hour I shall remember that chocolate cream. It was unsoldierly, but it was angelic.
Thank you. And now I will do a soldierly thing. You cannot stay here after what you have just said about my future husband. But I will go out onto the balcony and see whether it is safe for you to climb down into the street.
Stop! Wait! Down that water pipe. No, I can't. I daren't. The very thought of it makes me giddy. I came up it fast enough with death behind me to face it now in cold blood. Oh, it's no use. I'm done for. I give up. Sound the alarm.
Oh, come, don't be disheartened. Well, you're a very poor soldier. A chocolate cream soldier. Come, cheer up. It takes less courage to climb down than to face capture. Remember that.
No. Capturing means death. Death means sleep. Undisturbed sleep. Oh, you see, climbing down that water pipe means doing something. Thinking. Exerting myself. Death 10 times over first.
Are you so sleepy as that?
I haven't had 2 hours undisturbed sleep since the war began. I'm on the staff, but you don't know what that means. I haven't closed my eyes in 36 hours now.
But what am I to do with you?
Of course. You see, sleep or no sleep, hunger or no hunger, tired or not tired, you can always do a thing when you know it must be done. Well, that water pipe must be got down. You hear that, you chocolate cream soldier?
But if you fall...
I shall sleep if the stones were a feather bed. Goodbye.
Oh, stop! They'll kill you.
Never mind. I'm bound to take my chance. It's all in my day's work. Now do what I tell you. Put out all the candles so they shan't see the light when I open the shutters. If they see me, they're sure to have a shot at me. And
They're
whatever
sure to see you. It's bright moonlight. I'll save you. Oh, how can you be so indifferent? You want me to save you, don't you?
I don't want to be troublesome, Jim. I am not indifferent, I assure you. But how is it to be done?
Come away from the window, please. Now listen. You must trust to our hospitality. You do not yet know in whose house you are. I am a Petkoff.
A pet what?
I mean that I belong to the family of the Petkoffs, the richest and best known in our country.
Oh, the Petkoffs, of course. How silly of me.
You know you never heard of them until this moment. How can you stoop to pretend?
Forgive me. I'm too tired, and the change of conversation was too much for me. Please don't scold me.
I forgot. It might make you cry. Now, I must tell you that my father holds the highest command of any Bulgarian in our army. He is a major.
A major? Bless me, think of that.
You showed great ignorance in thinking it was necessary to climb up to the balcony, because ours is the only private house with 2 rows of windows. There is a flight of stairs inside to get up and down by.
Stairs? You live in great luxury, dear young lady.
Do you know what a library is?
A library? A room full of books?
Yes! We have one. The only one in Bulgaria.
Actually, a real library. I'd like to see that.
I tell you these things to show you that you are not in the house of ignorant country folk, who would kill you the moment they saw your Serbian uniform, but among civilized people. We go to Bucharest every year for the opera season, and I have spent a whole month in Vienna.
I saw that once, dear young lady. I saw it once that you knew the world.
Have you ever seen the opera of Ernani?
Ernani. That's the one with the devil in the red velvet and the soldier's chorus, correct?
No!
Then I don't know it.
I thought you might have recalled the great scene where Ernani, flying from his foes just as you are tonight, takes refuge in the castle of his bitterest enemy, an old Castilian noble. A noble refuses to give him up. His guest is sacred to him.
Have your people got that notion?
My mother and I can understand that notion, as you call it. And if, instead of coming in here and threatening me with your pistol, as you did, you had simply thrown yourself as a fugitive on our hospitality, you would have been as safe as in your father's house.
Quite sure.
It is useless to try and make you understand.
Please don't be angry, dear young lady. You see how awkward it would be if there were any mistake. Now, you see, my father, he is a very hospitable man. He keeps 6 hotels, but I wouldn't trust him as far as that. What about your father?
He is away at Slivnitsa, fighting for his country. I answer for your safety. There is my hand in pledge of it. Will that reassure you?
Better not touch my hand, dear young lady. I must have a wash first.
That is very nice of you. I see that you are a gentleman.
Eh?
You must not think that I am surprised. Bulgarians of really good standing, people in our position, wash their hands nearly every day. But I appreciate your delicacy. You may take my hand.
Thank you, gracious lady. I feel safe at last. Now, if you wouldn't mind breaking the news to your mother, I'd better not stay here secretly longer than needed.
If you will be so good as to stay perfectly still whilst I'm away.
Certainly.
You are not going to sleep, are you? Do you hear? Wake up! You are falling asleep.
No, not the least in the world, dear young lady. I was only thinking.
If you would please stand up while I'm away. All the time, mind.
Certainly, you may depend on me. Sleep, 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 sleep. Where am I? That's what I want to know. Where am I? Must keep awake. Nothing keeps me awake except danger. Danger. Where is danger? I must find danger. What am I looking for? Sleep? Danger? I don't know. I'm going to bed. But not to sleep because of danger. Not to lie down either. Only to sit.
He's gone. I left him here.
Here? Then he must have climbed down from the... Wow! He's fast asleep, the brute! Shh! Sir. Sir! Sir!
Don't, Mom. The poor dear is worn out.
The poor dear! Raina!
Later, it is the 6th of March, 1886. 3 days after the peace treaty that ended the war was signed. It is a fine spring morning in the garden of the Petkoff's house.
Be warned in time, Louka. Mend your manners. I know the mistress. She's so grand she can never dream that any servant would dare be disrespectful to her. If she once suspects you're defying her, out to go.
I do defy her. I will defy her. What do I care for her?
If you quarrel with the family, I cannot marry you. It's as if you quarrel with me.
You take her part against me, do you?
I will always be dependent on the goodwill of the family. When I leave their service to start a shop in Sofia, their custom will be half my capital. Their bad word would ruin me.
You have no spirit. I should like to see them dare say a word against me.
I should have expected more sense from you, Louka. But you're young. You're young.
Yes, and you like me the better for it, don't you? I know some family secrets they wouldn't care to have told me. Young as I am, let them quarrel with me if they dare.
Do you know what they do if they heard you talk like
What
that?
could they do?
Discharge you for untruthfulness. Who would give you another situation? Who would believe another word you said? Who in this house would dare be seen talking to you ever again? How long would your father be left on his little farm? Child, you don't know the power such high people have over the likes of you and me when we try to resent our poverty against them. Look at me, 10 years in their service. Do you think I know no secrets? I don't think it's about the mistress that she wouldn't have the master know for 1,000 levas. I don't think it's about him that she wouldn't let him hear the last of for 6 months if I blubbed them to her. I don't think it's about Raina that would break off her match with Sergius.
How do you know? I never told you.
So that's your secret, is it? I thought it might be something like that. Will you take my advice and be respectful? Make this mistress feel that no matter what you know or don't know, they can depend on you to hold your tongue and serve the family faithfully. That's what they like, and that's how you make the most out of them.
You have the soul of a servant, Nicola.
Yes, that is the secret to success in service.
Nicola! Master, back from the war.
My word for it, Louka, the war's over. Now off with you and get some fresh coffee.
You'll never put the soul of a servant into me.
Breakfast out here, eh?
Yes, the mistress and Miss Raina have just gone in.
Very good. Go in and say I've come and bring me some fresh coffee.
It's coming, sir. You told the mistress.
Yeah, she's coming.
Louka, the Servians haven't run away with you yet, have they?
No, sir.
Very good. Have you brought me some cognac?
Here, sir.
Very good.
My dear Paul. What a surprise for us. Have they brought you fresh coffee?
Yes, Luca's been looking after me. The war is over. The treaty was signed 3 days ago at Bucharest, and the decree for our army to demobilize was issued yesterday.
The war over? Paul, have you let the Austrians force you to make peace?
My dear, they didn't consult me. What could I do? But we did see to it that the treaty is an honorable one. It declares peace.
Peace?
But not friendly relations, remember that? They wanted to put that in, but I insisted on its being struck out. What more could I do?
You could have annexed Serbia and made Prince Alexander Emperor of the Balkans. That's what I would have done.
I don't doubt that in the least, my dear, but I should have had to subdue the whole Austrian Empire first, and that would have kept me too long away from you. I missed you greatly.
Ah.
And how have you been, my dear?
Oh, my usual sore throats, that's all.
That comes from washing your neck every day. I've often told you so.
Nonsense, Paul.
I don't believe in going too far with this modern nonsense. All this washing can't be good for the health. It isn't natural.
Now read.
There was an Englishman at Philippopolis who used to wet himself all over with cold water every morning when he got up. Disgusting. It all comes from the English.
Now that's not
Their
fair.
climate makes them so dirty they have to be perpetually washing themselves.
Really?
Look at my father. He never had a bath in his life, and he lived to be 98, the healthiest man in Bulgaria.
That's true.
I don't mind a good wash once a week to keep up my position, but once a day is carrying the thing to a ridiculous extreme.
You are a barbarian at heart still, Paul. I hope you behaved yourself before all those Russian officers.
I did my best. I took care to let them know that we have a library.
But you didn't tell them that we have an electric bell in it. I've had one put up.
What's an electric bell?
You touch a button, something tinkles in the kitchen, and then Nicola comes up.
Why not just shout for him?
Civilized people never shout for their servants, Paul. I've learned that while you were away.
Well, I'll tell you something I've learnt, too. Civilized people don't hang out their washing to dry where visitors can see it, so you better have all that put somewhere else.
Nonsense. I don't believe really refined people notice such things.
There's Sergius. Nicola!
Don't shout, Paul. It really isn't nice.
Nicola! Sir, if that is Major Saranoff, bring him round this way.
Yes, sir.
You must talk to him, my dear, until Raina takes him off our hands. He bores my life out about our not promoting him. Over my head, mind you.
Well, he certainly ought to be promoted when he marries Raina. Besides, the country should insist on having at least one native general.
Yes, so he can throw away whole brigades instead of regiments. No, he has not the slightest chance of being promoted until we are quite sure the peace will be a lasting one.
Major Sergius Saranoff.
My dear Sergius.
My dear mother, if I may call you so.
Mother-in-law, Sergius, mother-in-law. Sit down and have some coffee.
Thank you, none for me.
Oh, Sergius, you look superb, splendid. The campaign has approved you. Everybody here is mad about you. We were all wild with enthusiasm about that magnificent cavalry charge.
Madame, it was the cradle and the grave of my military reputation.
How so?
I won the battle the wrong way when our worthy Russian generals were losing it the right way. That upset their plans and wounded their self-esteem. 2 colonels got their regiments driven back on the correct principles of scientific warfare. 2 major generals got killed strictly according to military etiquette. Those 2 colonels are now major generals, and I am still a simple major.
You shall not remain so, Sergius. The women are on your side, and they will see that justice is done to you.
It is too late. I've only waited for the peace to set in.